You're on.
Hello. So just as we go, if you would, there should be like a number along the top saying how many people are watching. If there's anybody that's coming on. Hi everybody. I'm just getting settled in. I've got my friend actually doing the video portion for me because I want the ability for her to be able to do close-ups and things while I'm working with my hands. So as soon as we have, at least like one or two people watching, I'll kind of get started. And
You got 6 people on.
we have 6 people on. Well, welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to see me teach how to make lavender wands. I'm so happy to have you here. So I wanted to start, lavender, I just wanted to tell you is if I could only have one scent in my life for the rest of my life, like if I lost all scents, lavender would be the one that I would want. I love lavender. I use it a lot. I get essential oils. I use it for migraines. I use it for stress. I use it for sleep. It's just a multi-purpose one, and so I decided to look up a little bit of history and thought I'd share just a few things about lavender with you. So this is from TemeculaLavenderCO.com. It's a company, I believe they sell lavender products, and I'm of course not associated with them or trying to sell anything here, but I just got the history information from them. Lavender is the most magical of all herbs and has been revered, used, and cultivated since the beginning of recorded time. Let's see, what else do I have on here? The common name lavender, believed to have its roots from the lavender word lavar, L-A-V-A-R-E, meaning to wash. Many theorists believe that the early spelling came from Lavendula, L-I-V-I-N-D-U-L-A. So a few more things I wanted to read. I just highlighted a few things.
Wait a minute. So many people are saying hi to you and they're waving at you.
Hi everyone.
Tessa Luann, Denise, Brooke Armstrong, Kelly Leanne.
Awesome. Thank you guys for coming.
They're sending all hearts to you.
And please ask questions because I actually have my friend holding the phone for me. And so as we go and I, explain things, if you have a question, please let me know. But I'm just going over a few historical things about lavender that I thought was really cool and I wanted to share with you. The lavender is also mentioned in the Bible, which I had no idea. It's referred to as spikenard, I think is how you pronounce it, S-P-I-K-E-N-A-R-D, which is the Greek name for lavender. Sorry, my kitty's exploring my videographer. It's mentioned in John 12, 1 through 10, if you read the Bible. There's a quote there, then took Mary a pound of ointment of spikenard, very costly, and anointed the feet of Jesus, and wiped his feet with her hair, and the house was filled with the odor of the ointment. It's also been documented in ancient hieroglyphs. It was used as cosmetics and placed under wigs with beeswax. And so that, throughout the day as they're getting hot and whatnot, the scent would actually come off of their heads under their wigs. Also, a bundle of it used to be given to women during labor. So if you're making one of these tonight and you have a friend that is pregnant, this would be a beautiful gift to give. Helps to calm the pain and facilitate an unencumbered birth. And also it's been given to couples as marriage gifts for good fortune and peace. Let's see, I've got just a couple more things I wanted to read about lavender. The earliest written record of lavender's medicinal properties is the Greek physician Dioscorides in 77 AD. He was a military physician under the Roman Emperor Nero. Dioscorides studied medicinal plants and recorded that lavender relieved indigestion, headaches, and sore throats when taken internally. It's also used as an antiseptic for wounds and burns. And today, lavender is used for so many things. I mentioned earlier I use it for headaches, migraines, to help me calm, to go to sleep, all kinds of things like that. So just thought I would share that with you because I thought that was all pretty interesting. And so, Callie, I know I heard your name was on. I was actually really inspired by your resin making video that you did the other day. And so I kind of want to take your lead and do a little smudging and open a circle as well, because I think when we're crafting, we are, we're putting our energy into the craft that we're making. And so I want to put the best intentions of what I'm making. I'm actually going to gift the one that I make to the person who's helping me do this video today. So, I want all the love and good intention to come into that.
Stephanie Snow Landry is here, Agnes, and Catherine.
Hi guys.
They're all...
Thanks for coming. All right, so we'll do a little, I'm going to do sage just because sage is always a good go-to. And then I also did some lavender smudges, which they're a lot more simpler than the ones that we're going to make. So if you want at the end, if there's interest and, we don't go on forever and on and on and on.
Callie said, oh, thank you. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so I've already burned a little bit of it, but we'll burn some of that too a little bit just to bring some of that lavender energy into tonight. Oops, ashing all over the place. This is a turkey from my local area, a little smudge fan that I've made. And my kitty is very curious. She keeps coming over here wanting to see what's going on. That's Kitty. She goes on hikes with me and we go foraging for herbs and whatnot around the area. So what first interested me in wanting to ever burn lavender was I had a boyfriend whose father was dying of pancreatic cancer. And someone gifted us a bunch of lavender. And I've made sage smudges before, and so I decided, well, what are we gonna do with all this lavender? I mean, it was a huge amount of lavender. So I decided I was gonna wrap it and burn it. And through his process of dying, this was one of the most calming things for him. I remember him just laying there going, oh my God, please burn some of that lavender. It's so good, it's so comforting and wonderful. And my friend actually who's doing the camera work for me today, she does a lot of end-of-life care, and I don't know, do you have any experiences working with lavender at all and end-of-life?
Yeah, we bring that in and put it in the bedroom there. We don't necessarily burn it because of the smoke, but it's a really good scent to have in an end-of-life scene.
So I'm just going to let that kind of burn on its own for a while. And so I had shoulder surgery a little bit a month ago. I can't lift my right arm quite that much, so my opening of the circle will look a little funky, but that's okay.
Brooke said that your cat is so cute.
Oh, thank you. I know, she's adorable. I love her.
Sitting in my seat.
So I will open this circle, and see I have to kind of reach around like that because my arm. And this is only my second time ever going live, and I've opened circle for myself and alongside Athena, but never live on video. So I'm actually going to read from Athena's book, the Ritual and Blessings book, and I'm going to read her calling in the directions.
Callie would like to know hydrosols.
Hydrosols. So you want to know what they are or what they're about? So there's essential oil, which is kind of a more pure concentrated form, and then I don't know exactly how hydrosol is made differently, but I know that it's a less concentrated form. So I think it's like I want to say it's maybe like the byproduct of the essential oil making, but it has something to do with the way that they make the essential oils, I know. But good question, and I don't know the answer to that, but maybe I'll find out. I actually, I'm a part of Young Living as well, so I've got a connection of community of people that I guess. So good question. Okay, so I'm going to call in our directions based off of Athena's book. I open my mind and spirit to receive and allow energies to flow that will co-create my intention in full alignment with my highest good and the highest good of all beings. And for those that I make this wand for, I added that part. I receive support from the north and the elder spirits who bring me wisdom. I receive flow from the west and the grandmothers who encourage my trust. I receive strength from the south and elements of courage to empower me. I receive inspiration from the east. We didn't start in the east, did we, like we usually do? I receive inspiration from the east and fuel for the long journeys ahead. I receive wisdom from my Creator, the essence of all life, and I allow that knowing to flow and move freely through me. I root deeply into Pachamama, trusting that she can hold me steady during the storms of life. And I connect powerfully with Source, attuning to universal frequencies of love, as above, so below, as within, so without. I welcome universal support from all directions and give thanks for spirit guidance. Amen. Aho.
And so it is. So Callie would like to know, Callie said, no, I was suggesting hydrosols for end-of-life care. I have a distiller and will be making them.
Oh, that's great. That would be, you know, in any kind of setting. Smoke, I mean, if somebody's used to smoke, that's fine. I know my friend had mentioned not smoke because she works more in a hospital setting. But yeah, sprays, mists, hydrosol's great. Absolutely. And you know, actually, I'm a nurse, and so when I worked in the hospital setting, I always kept a bottle of essential oil in my locker. And whenever I had anybody at end of life, what I would do is go get a washcloth and put like a single drop on a washcloth and hand it to the patient. And if they liked it, they could, you know, keep the washcloth. And usually, I don't think I ever had anybody not want it, but they would just keep the washcloth close to their face, and every now and then, you know, kind of nuzzle their nose in it, and it was just a real comforting thing for them.
What scent was that?
Lavender.
Lavender scent?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna. You guys saw my original post of my lavender. I've been keeping this in water to try to keep it, keep the branches more pliable. These are the ones that have dried out, so I've been pulling them out. If they're too dry, I'm not using them. So you're going to need an odd number. In my original post, I suggested 13, which is a great number. Actually, I'll show you a few of them after I pull some of these out. 13, I was doing with the idea of having 13 moons. But you know, with numerology, you can have all kinds of intentions. And so for my friend Lorinda here, who I'm making this one for, she wanted the number 7. And can you tell me a little bit why you chose 7, what that number represents and means to you?
It's been a number I've been drawn to for 40 years or so. And of course, it's my life path number, which is also a very spiritual life path. And I know Athena has talked about life path numbers and how you derive them with your birth date. So yes, that's why I chose 7.
Okay. So I'm going to set these aside for just a minute. I'm going to show you a few of them. The main picture that I had originally, I already gifted that to somebody, so I don't have that one. But I did show this one. This one has 7 in it, so it's a little bit smaller. And you know, I've been learning through making these a little bit more. You can see like that's kind of loose right there. So, I mean, it's fine. It's not going to unbundle, but just so you're aware, you could always secure it if you wanted to with glue, or sew it down if you wanted to, but it doesn't bother me. I think it's fine. I like it. This one I made yesterday. I like this one because it's more of a cloth-like ribbon, and it's more pliable, whereas you can notice the green one, you know, with any kind of living plant material, as it dries, it's going to shrink, you know, because it doesn't have that moisture in there. And so you can kind of see that in the green, how it's shrunk a little bit and it looks a little bit more poofy. This one is still kind of tight, so I think I like the cloth more like ones better. And you know, I think I mentioned lavender is meaning to wash when you look at the original Latin word, meaning to wash. And so I kind of see that as clearing energy, and so I added a bell. So you can go around and clear energy with a bell if you want to add a bell onto yours. Or, you know, I mentioned you can get some stone beads and add to it, and so add whatever intention you have of different beads. And so then I made this one where it's just kind of twisted down, but also the same issue where it's kind of, you know, you kind of have to adjust it. So today I did a third one, and this is the one that I'm going to kind of show you, this white one, where we tie it up at the top and then at the bottom, and it's a lot more secure, I think. And also, as it dries too, I can untie the bottom and then retie it like in a couple days after it dries up a little bit more. So those are some of the examples of what I have to show.
Here, I'm going to get a close-up if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
So that they could see those. There we go.
I'm so happy to be here with you guys, seriously. This is my second ever live video, and so I've been really excited and happy to be able to do this with you. All right, so let's get started. The first thing we're gonna do, I suggested having a cookie sheet. You don't have to, but it's kind of nice to kind of collect whatever extra you're working on, because these are kind of long, and I like to kind of work as I'm sitting like this, to have things kind of hanging over the side there. So first thing to do is, with each stem that you have, get rid of any extra stems, and even the flowers. You can use the extra flowers for putting on top of burning charcoal, or you could, you know, make a smoking blend or whatever you wish to do, but make that all nice and neat. It'll make it easier to work with. So I'm going to go through and do that with all of these. So is there anybody that's actually working on theirs at the same time as I'm working on mine?
Agnes says, we love you too.
Aww. Yeah, I'm curious if how many people are watching to learn for later versus who's actually working on theirs today. Because I want to make sure that I go at a speed that's not too slow and boring, but yet not too fast and making people feel like, hey, I gotta catch up.
So why don't you just repeat what you're doing again for anybody new joining?
Okay. I'm taking off all of the extra stems and leaves that were on the ends. So now you can see the branches. Oh, I got another little leaf there. All the branches are pretty clean, so we won't get any ribbon that's snagging or anything like that. So we need to pick our ribbon. So what color do you want it, Lorinda? All of these I've used except for this dark purple yet. But you know, like I mentioned, the
I like the purple.
you want this purple or the darker purple?
I like the darker purple.
Darker, cool. It'll be the first time using this one. So I'm gonna get my ribbon out.
Tracy said, thank you for showing us how to do it.
You're welcome. So I'm gonna actually just let this kind of fall down and just let it unravel as I work. So first I want to line up my lavender flowers, because if they're too spread out like this, then my weaving area is going to be this long, and that's too long. Oh yeah, so look at my new flash tattoo I just put on today. Guess where I got that from? Okay, so I'm going to line up my lavender flowers. And you can see sometimes lavender grows where you have like the major flower there, and then you've got a little smaller section right there. No big deal. I think
Kelly says, I'm going to go. We're going to get supper. I'll save this for later. I love lavender in my coffee.
Oh, interesting. I do have some of the oral lavender vitality that Young Living does that you can add to edible things. So I'm gonna try that.
And Agnes
That
says,
sounds good.
Agnes says, I'm watching to learn, but I would love to try this later.
Yay! And I hope you share your pictures too, because I want to see what you guys make too. So whenever any of you make one, please let me see. I know one person said that they're going to a lavender farm tomorrow to go pick, so I know somebody is.
Kelly said, you inspired me to use a baking sheet for the resin tray.
Oh, all right, good idea. Hey, we're inspiring each other, aren't we? Okay, so now I've got my lavender flowers lined up how I like it. So my weaving area is going to be like this much area. So with my tie, I'm going to go around.
Kelly said, sage, lavender, rose, and raw cacao.
Sage, lavender, rose. You put sage in your coffee too. Interesting. I don't have any oral sage. You'll have to share the link with where you get that from. So I'm just doing a regular knot here. Okay, so this is where it gets fun. So I'm
gonna do a little close up of that so they can see. Maybe you can turn it a little bit so they can see around. Okay.
So it's just knotted together there at the base.
Okay.
So we're gonna actually work this direction. So what we're gonna do is, we've got our main tail here. I'm gonna kind of lean over because I like to lean on my knees as I'm doing this. So as you can see, here's the ribbon right here. I'm gonna pull a stem down that's closest to that ribbon. So I see this stem right here is closest to that ribbon. So I'm gonna actually bring that down. And as you bring it down, pay attention to where that bend in the stem happens. Because if you have a bunch of different stems that are bending at different areas, the top, I'll show you on this one, the top right there will be all uneven. So you kind of want to pay attention to where and how you're bending that down. So see how this is? The lavender flowers are inside, and we folded all the branches downward. Okay, so I bent one down, so I'm gonna go over that stem with my ribbon. So we're gonna go over, under, over, under. So the reason why we chose odd number, it had to be an odd number, is so that when you go all the way around, then you're gonna end up doing the opposite, which you'll see when we make our way all the way around. So I went over once. I'm gonna find the next stem that's closest, bend that down and kind of pay attention to that bend. And then it's under. See that? And you can also, you know, pull on the stem. If you notice that the bend is too high or something, you can pull on the stem to kind of give it a little bit more of a bend downward if you need to. All right, so the next one I'm gonna pull down. This one is gonna be an over. So I'm gonna pull it down, and then I'm gonna grab my ribbon, kind of weave it over. And after, the first 2 rows are the hardest. So this one is under. See how we're doing opposites here? I'm gonna bring another one down. This one is an over. So this is why it's important to work with fresh lavender and not already dried lavender, because see how that stem breaks? If you use lavender that is already dried, it'll completely break off. So it's okay that it's partially broken, it'll still hold. And then after we get around, the weaving itself will all hold it in place too, so it's not a big deal. All right, so here's that tail there. We want to make sure that tail still stays down. So a big thing with weaving is like your hands and how you're holding on to things all the time. You're always kind of having to hold things in place a little bit. All right, so we did over last, so now we're going to do under. So I'm going to bend it down. And then after I get done with this first row, I'll kind of take you around before I start the next row too. Oops, did I do that right? No, under, sorry. And you know what? You're gonna make some mistakes, because I did. I've made these in previous years, and I still make mistakes, and it's okay. You just, you know, kind of figure out where your mistake is, and you either go back and fix it, or you just go ahead and work with it and fix it as you go. And you know, mistakes are okay, because we are human, and humans are not perfect, thank God. Or goddess, or whoever we want to thank. Okay, so this one is going to be an over. I'm going really slow this first round, because I know that it can be kind of a lot when you're first learning something new. All right, so here's my little tail. I'm going to make sure I go over that. Here's my next one right here. So see, I'm just going to kind of take you around, see how that looks. And then go around here. Does that make sense to everybody? So now I'm ready for the second row. So we're just spiraling down now. So now see, this one had an over, so this one we're going to go under. And this is another thing you kind of play with, is the spacing of the stems going around. So it's fine, it's workable. You want to make sure that this stays taut, nice and tight, the ribbon that we're working with. So as you're working, what I do is I use my left thumb, since I'm working this direction, and I hold that into place. And then as see how my thumb is holding it into place? Then I can grab the next stem to work to bring it under. And of course you gotta make sure your stem or your ribbon is not twisting up on you. So now I'm gonna go over, and so I'm gonna hold my thumb there in place. I do love to teach. I've never taught this before. I don't think I've ever taught any kind of crafting before, but you know, as a nurse, I mentioned I have taught LVN students, and I've taught medical assistant students and other RN students, and I do enjoy teaching. something that I think I've always had in me. So see how the spacing here is a little bit bigger? Oh, wait a second. Oh, see, look, see here, I almost made a mistake. I almost went under, but realized, I skipped one. So I'm gonna go back here. Just go underneath. I'm getting a little twisted down here. And I don't know if you can hear it in the background or not, but what I did was I put, solfeggio music to the root chakra for creativity. So we've got that going on in the background too. I put it on kind of low because I didn't want it to overtake what we're doing here. But I've got that energy going on today too. And as you're doing this, you can think about who you're making this for, or maybe you're making this for yourself. And what you hope for them to be able to get out of this lavender. Ouch.
Kimberly said you are amazing at breaking the steps down so we
Yay!
can follow. Thank you so much.
Good, you're welcome. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate that feedback. All right, so everybody's following kind of what I'm doing here so far. So I'm every now and then I'm like pulling this tight to make sure that it stays nice. So since this is going to take me a few minutes to get through, I want to hear what anybody might have to say about lavender. Any experiences or stories or things that it helps with other than what we talked about, or do you grow lavender yourself? Any tips for growing lavender? I know somebody was talking about having a hard time growing their lavender. I just have a small little plant I just started this year, so I'm not the person to ask for that. But yeah, I would be interested to hear any kind of lavender talk.
Anybody have any questions too for Sheila about what she's doing? I'm trying to get in there good so you can see. You can see it's coming along really nicely.
And also, as we go, some of the lavender flowers are going to kind of pop out. That's fine. I think that adds beauty to it. I don't need every single flower to be inside. And you know what? If a little lavender flower drops off somewhere, like in your bed or wherever, all right, you just added some medicine to your bed. This is kind of meditative on its own, just, weaving in general. I also, I've crocheted for over 20 years, so weaving is something that I've always enjoyed. And then I just learned how to knit a couple years ago, which is a little bit more complicated, in my opinion, of a form of weaving than crocheting is. Both beautiful forms of art, and of course this is this is weaving. So I don't even know where I learned how to do this, to be honest.
Kimberly,
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Kimberly says that lavender is sensitive. I have a hard time growing it myself. My watering is productive for it. Too much rain and bye-bye.
Oh, doesn't like too much rain. What state do you live in? I'm guessing you live in a state where there's year-round rain. I'm in Northern California. We don't have year-round rain here. But so I wonder if you planted it more in a shady area, or not maybe full-on shade, but partial shade.
She lives in New Jersey.
New Jersey. I can't do the accent. I'm horrible at accents. I shouldn't even ever try.
She's a Jersey girl.
There you go. That's cool.
Yay, my fellow East Coaster.
Oh yeah, that's right. Where are you from, Lorinda?
Born and raised in Connecticut.
Connecticut.
But the rural part of Connecticut.
Okay. I was born and raised in Indiana. I know we've got a few other Crystal Master Indiana people. So, I'm getting kind of at that big bulky part of the wand. So at this part, I like to not pull it as tight. because I like it. I want it to kind of have like a Shiva linga type of shape, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I'm just going to get a close-up of that, what you're doing so far. It's looking good.
So see how this looks more like a bulb in the middle, kind of a Shiva limba. Hey, I got one right here. Linga, right?
Lisa says, yay, NorCal.
Woohoo, where are you from?
And Sally says, hi Sheila, where do you recommend purchasing lavender if you do not have a farmer's market close or able to grow it? Great question, Sally.
Yeah, you would have to, to be able to get it fresh, you would have to buy it somewhere local. So I would try like Amazon Marketplace or Craigslist or something like that. I know that there is lavender growing in multiple areas around the country. So, I know the Jersey girl, sorry, I forget your name, but I remember Jersey.
Kimberly,
you had mentioned it being I should keep working while I'm talking, huh?
and Lisa's a county down from us. She's in Sonoma.
Oh my God, Lisa, we got to meet. We got to hang out after this whole COVID crap is over with. That would be so cool to be able to meet and hang out with another Crystal Master. My friend Lorinda, she's not in Crystal Masters, but what program did you do with Athena before?
Oh, the Holistic Healer program.
When was that? How long ago?
I think 2018.
So just 2 years ago. Was there anybody else in on this video that was also in that program?
I don't know.
Maybe you might recognize Lorinda Williams' name.
Kimberly said, I hold Reiki events at the Lavender Farm in New Jersey. It's amazing the energy of the farm and it's so peaceful.
Oh, how cool.
That is hella cool, Kimberly.
Wow. That would be so neat. Reiki is something I want to learn. Lorinda's is Reiki master. So that's something in my future. I've got so many things in my life I want to do. I'm so excited and interested in so many things. So every now and then I'm just using my thumb and just readjusting things and kind of spacing things out with my thumb as I go.
Agnes says, I have to go making dinner. I look forward to rewatch.
Yay! Have good dinner. Keep some leftovers for me.
Lisa gives you the thumbs up.
Woohoo! Thank you. Okay, we're almost getting to the part where we can do the handle part of the wand. Almost there. So as it gets, back down towards the bottom here, it's getting a little bit tighter.
Lisa is Reiki 1 so far. Right on, girl.
Yeah.
Good for you.
All right, what's going on here? What'd I do? I missed one. See, look how I did that? Right there. I was about to go and I'm like, wait a second, how come it's the same? Oh, well, because I skipped one. So you see, as it's getting tighter, some of the branches are overlapping and they're getting a little bit more confusing. So, having nimble fingers definitely helps. So I'm just going to bring it a little bit tighter there.
You know what's so cool about doing Reiki, Lisa, was that, and probably Kimberly too, is like infusing whatever you make or whatever you work with Reiki, which is awesome, and healing to whoever receives that. I'm sure you know that, but I just want to just say that's so awesome, girls.
I've actually I don't know that I've ever had Reiki work done on me.
Really?
You might have done like a small something here or there, but never like a full session. There was another thing going around back in the late 90s around here called Amine, and it was energy body work as well. And so a lot of people in my area were all kind of like tired of Reiki, and because everybody had done Reiki at that point, and so they started. Everybody was getting into Amine, and that's when I moved to California. Was in '96, and in Indiana there was nobody doing anything like that at the time that I lived there. So there was. I didn't have that exposure to it then. All right, so I got a little bit of lavender flower, but I feel like I'm at the end here. So I'm ready to kind of move on to the next step.
I just want you to know that Kimberly said that she infuses everything with Reiki. Oh, and that's with so much love too.
Aww.
Oh, that's so awesome sauce. And then Marge, who's joined us. Yay, Marge.
Hi,
Hello.
Marge.
She lives in Central Oregon, which is considered high desert, hot summers and cold winters. She says, I'm a lavender lover. Lavender's very hardy and drought tolerant. Mine are in mostly full sun, but a couple of bushes are in, are in a fair amount of shade. Just don't water too much. It's the only plant the deer, rabbits, and chipmunks won't touch.
Nice.
So easy to grow. She used to live in Seattle and had nice plants there too. Hope that helps a few of you who are having trouble.
Oh, cool. Thank you for that.
And Angie said, so what do you use these for?
Oh, good question. We didn't talk about that, did we? So the scent itself has its own medicinal purposes, like, you know, relaxation, helping you sleep. I know we all got that dark lavender sample with our pyramids this last time around. So I know she talked a little bit about lavender. Since this is a wand of, and the original word, what was it? Again, I have to look it up. Lavare means to wash. So, you know, we could use this to actually clear our space as well, which is why I added a bell to one of mine. So I'm going to use mine to go around my house and clear energy around my house with this. That's my intention with it. Otherwise, it's going to stay by my bed, and I'm going to get to enjoy the sweet smell of lavender. You can also, since this is all basket weaved in, every now and then as it dries up and the scent goes away, you can squeeze it and kind of turn it and release some of that scent that's inside. So this should last a nice long time. You could also put it in your clothing drawer if you want. Lavender is also known to help keep bugs away. So if you have a bug issue, you know, like some people put cedar and stuff in their clothes closets, you could put this in your clothes closet if you want.
Yeah, Marge says it's good for draws. Moths don't like lavender. And Kimberly loves the bell.
Yay.
And Angie said, what did you say? It's calamni? What was that?
I don't know. Let me see.
Oh my gosh, Angie, I'm probably mispronouncing it. Colamani?
Where's it at?
There.
Oh, Colimni. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that.
Is a body to energy work too, was taking a class before COVID. Oh, wow, I've never heard. I'm going to check that out. Well, thank
Yeah.
you for sharing that, Angie.
Yeah.
And Kimberly says she's eclectic. Oh, me too, girlfriend. Reiki, crystals, oils, herbs, sound. Oh, yes, yes. And Lisa said, yes, she just had a healing a few days ago.
Aww.
Oh my God, amazing Grace. You must feel so much better, Lisa. I can imagine.
Yeah. Yeah. So, another thing I didn't share too is that the Egyptians, if you also used it in their mixture for mummification. So if you ever need to mummify anyone, you can use lavender for that too.
Kimberly said, thank you for sharing this amazing gift with us.
Oh, you're welcome.
I can't wait to try it. I'm going to pick some tomorrow.
Great. All right, so we're ready to tie off and move on to the next step. So what I'm going to do is, see, I've got this going like so.
Angie pronounces it calamni.
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 Okay.
Oh, thank you, Ange.
All right, so I'm going to pick up my reel, I guess you call it, and kind of go around here. And I'm going to go around and then bring it through just like a knot. So let me drop this down and I'll let you see what this looks like. It's just a regular, see? It's just wrapped around once and then up and through.
I know it's my speech impediment, Sally. Just kidding.
So you guys see how that is?
Okay, so she's going to make a knot.
Yep. So I'm going to tie that tight. And then, so get it nice and tight. And then I'm going to actually go back the opposite direction so that it doesn't come undone. I'm going to go downwards in a spiral motion. And think about how long you want your handle to be. So I'm thinking I'm probably going to cut my handle off about right here, maybe. Something like that. So I'm going to actually go out about, I don't know, how much is that? 6 inches or something? I'm a bit bad. I don't even think I have a measuring thing near me. About that much longer.
Sally was laughing at the mummy part.
The money part?
Mummy.
Oh, mummy part, yeah. All right, scissors. So I'm going to cut this here. So I'm going to relax that down. All right, this is, get some kind of, you could use a pencil or something. I'm going to use this just because I have this nearby. And I'm going to, this dark purple might be a little bit difficult to see. See how that knot was, how it goes over right there? Tell me if my voice goes too low. I just realized I was talking softer. I want to make sure you can still hear me. I'm going to push this up and under there. I could loosen the knot. I could loosen the knot and just stick it in there too, which I'll do that. Because I didn't make a tight knot. I'm having a hard time seeing I'm like 45 years old now, so I do have that eye change going on. All right, so I got that through. And then what I'm gonna do with that is I wanna keep a tail on that as well so that I can tie a bow tie. And I'm gonna knot this. So this is the same string source. I'm gonna knot this around that. So just a regular, you know, square knot, nothing fancy. And if you don't know what a square knot is, you just basically tie it twice like you would, you know, the beginning of your shoe. Assuming everybody can tie their shoes. So with these two, we can make, you know, our own loop, or with this extra one right here, tail, the smaller tail, we can make an extra loop. So I'm gonna put that out of the way. And then these two are the ones we're gonna work with right now. Okay, so the longer one from the original, and then the one that's still attached to the reel. So what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna work with the one that's cut first, and I'm just gonna wrap that around. Actually, I wanted to go this way because I wanted it to cover up that knot. You know what? There's no right or wrong in this, honestly. I make this shit up as I go, to be honest. And I think every time I do this, it's different too. So, you know, don't even worry about that.
Lisa says you're just a baby.
Thank you. I'll take it. There was a time, of course, I wouldn't take it. But, all right. So I'm going to go down to the point to where I have enough of a tail to tie off and make a bow. So I'm going to leave it about right there. And with this hand, I'm going to need to hold on to it for a little bit, because with this one, looks like I wrapped around accidentally. Oops. All right, so with this one, I'm going to now go the other direction. So this is where it gets tricky with your hands. You just got to kind of fumble with it.
So what are you trying to do again?
I'm wrapping this the opposite direction. So here, let me show you what the end, this one has it. So we're making like a crisscross pattern. See how that is with the crisscross pattern?
Okay.
So that's what we're doing. So we're going the
That's your
opposite
goal
direction.
here.
That's
Okay.
my goal here. Doing this on video is another story. So I'm going to twist it this way. I'm still trying to hold that other one on there. And you know what? I'm not going to make this a tight knot either, because I know that this is going to dry and it's going to shrink. So, you know, if this is a difficult thing for you right now, no biggie. All right, so we've met there together. So now I'm going to cut these off at the same point.
Did you need me to hold anything?
Nope. Good. All right, so now here I'm going to tie this. Trying to do everything. Here we go.
Can they lay it down on the desk or a table if they're working on something, or do they have to hold it up in the air like
No,
this?
you do whatever works for you.
Okay.
Whatever works. Yeah, I could totally set it on the table, but now I'm almost pretty much done here.
Okay.
So
I just wanted to give them an option.
That's cool. Good. And at this point, after I know that it's dry and this is nice and tight enough, then I would put a second knot through here, and you know, make it nice and, you know, knotted. And then if you want, you can add a bell on at the end, like I have on this one. You could add, at any point in this whole thing that you're doing it, you could add a bead in. I thought about, I've got some beads coming. I've got rose quartz and green aventurine beads coming from Amazon that I'm excited about. And I thought it'd be neat if before you start the whole thing, when you have your ribbon and you're holding onto it, weaving on all your beads onto the ribbon. And then as you're working it, you know, as you're going around, you say, okay, I'm about this point, I want a bead. Then you can bring the bead up and leave it right there. So every now and then you could have a bead along that part. Wouldn't that be neat? So maybe you'll see a future one after I get those beads showing that. Okay, so now we've got this, and since I mentioned shrinkage, this is important. When you cut off the ends here, don't cut off right there, because shrinkage is going to make this want to actually go a little bit longer. So I like to go, I don't know, maybe an inch below, and you could always cut it shorter. It's better to cut too long and be able to cut it later than it is to cut too short and not have enough. I mean, you could always make this shorter if you needed to later on. But here we have a lavender wand. And with this one, what I'm gonna do is just do a single loop, kind of like a shoe. And I'm just gonna bring it through instead of having 2 loops, because I don't have enough string for 2 loops. I'm just gonna bring it through like that. And we got a little loopy there for fun. And maybe I'll put the bell up here this time, and then this one I'll just tie like a regular shoe. I like the little bows. I think they're cute.
Or bead the stem, Angie said.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, this is where you have the ability to kind of add in whatever you want. And like I said, you know, every one I make is different. I come up with new ideas all the time. You got an idea, do it.
Creative license.
I want to see it. I want to see what you guys make. Tag me, please tag me in your creations. So there we go. This is a 7-stem lavender wand.
You gonna put your bell on?
Oh yeah, here, let's get a bell out. So these bells I got, they have teeny tiny little holes. Do you want the bell up here?
Yeah.
That's where I was thinking.
Uh-huh.
Okay,
Yeah.
since it's gonna be yours. See, it's kind of a really tiny hole in that bell.
The light from the lamp.
Yeah, go ahead and, do you want that light off? Is it better to have the
Well,
light
I'm
off?
just wanting to, can you guys see okay? Just want to be able, that you can see.
I'm just trying to push this through here, because it's kind of a
Sally
small
said,
hole.
Sally said it looks awesome.
Yay!
Lisa said, thank you, that was awesome.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. And you know, I just feel happy to be able to share what I have with you, and to, you know, move past my comfort zone of doing a video, because this is not a normal thing for me. But with my vision of my new career job, well, not my new career, I guess, but I'll still be a nurse, but my new job that I'm trying to create for myself is going to require me to be more online and to do more, you know, video type things. So you're helping me. You're helping me move out of that comfort zone.
The lavender smells divine.
Oh, doesn't it smell so good? This is like a spiritual high just making this.
Samantha says, this is so cool.
Yay.
I love your creativity. Thank you for sharing
Oh,
this.
you're so welcome. I'm glad you like it.
Tessa says, awesome. Thank you so much. Been a long time since I made any.
Well, now's the time, huh? Especially after that awesome class we just had on sleep. So I'm just doing a little knot at the end here to hold it in place.
Tanya says, oh, I missed it.
No, go back. I'm going to post it. Go back and watch it.
Marge says, thank you. Very clear directions. Loretta says, beautiful.
Yay. Thank you so much, you guys.
Sally says, you seem like you've been doing it forever.
Well, I have made them several years in the past. This year, I just started making them. So it had been, God, I don't know how long it had been since I'd last made them. Been a little while.
Angie says, thank you so much.
There
These
we
are
go.
amazing. My lavender isn't blooming this year. Baby plants. But next year,
All right, energy clearer. Got a cute little bell going on there. You can even, like, if you can get the rhythm right, you can bang it up against the stem. Or whatever, you know, get your own rhythm and use with it. There you go.
Amazing Grace.
Thank you for joining me, guys.
Do they have anybody have any other questions or?
Any final questions? And you can also post, you know, even if you watch it later, post questions. I'll check it. I'll follow up. I'll answer whatever questions you have, or PM me if you'd rather, whatever.
Yeah, Tanya wanted to know if they're able to watch the video later.
I'm gonna post it, so yeah, you can watch it later.
And Sally says, thank you.
You're so welcome. You're
So
so
let's show
welcome.
the final
Oh, and another thing I guess I should mention really quick too is at the top, you know how I mentioned sometimes the top will, I'm gonna get in the light here. Can you see this? The top will have a little bit of branches. You can just go through and cut off any kind of extra little, I don't even know what you call those, but just to make it kind of a little neater if you want.
Tanya says it looks wonderful, and Loretta says thank you. And Marge says, love your glasses.
Thank you. I just got them a couple weeks ago. I love them too.
Tanya says thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Marge loves it.
Oh, and I need to close circle since we opened a circle, didn't I?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well then, so the guardians of the north, which is our earth guardians, and our west, our water, our south is our fire. See, I'm learning. And our east is our air. We release you and we thank you for being here with us tonight and using your energy through my hands to show everyone how to make these beautiful lavender wands and to be able to use them in their practice. Thank you.
I'm going to show them one more time.
Okay.
Give everyone that final. Get really close up there.
Okay, so there should be a stop button. Bye. Thank you.